There are a lot of stabilizer options out there, and choosing can feel a little bit daunting, because what if you choose the wrong one? Don't worry, in this video, we're going to help you find the perfect solution for you, whether you shoot compound or recurve. Our first factor is, are you shooting compound or recurve? If you're shooting compound, you're going to need a stabilizer that is probably a bit stiffer than if you're shooting recurve. The reason for this is the limbs are transferring more energy, and that requires a stiffer stabilizer to absorb that force and to support the higher mass weights that compound archers typically put on their stabilizers. If you're shooting recurve, you probably don't need something incredibly stiff. A recurve bow doesn't have the same amount of force, and you're typically going to use a lower mass weight on your stabilizer, which gives you the freedom to use something not quite so stiff and maybe focus a bit more on your wind efficiency. And if you're shooting bare bow, great news, you get to skip this video. You don't get to use stabilizers. Because the mass weight you use on your stabilizers plays such a big role in which stabilizer is going to fit you well, it's important to have a good estimation of how much you're planning to use before you pick the stabilizer that's going to fit you. For example, if you're going to use, let's say, 20 ounces on your long stabilizer, you need something relatively stiff to support that. On the other hand, if you're only shooting 3 or 4 ounces, the stiffness is not going to be as critical, and you don't need something that's crazy stiff. And it's still going to feel great on your bow, maybe even better than if you shot something too stiff. Finding the right stiffness is really important, because if the stabilizer is too stiff, it might feel harsh or resonant. On the other hand, if it's way too weak, it's going to feel floppy and just not that stable. For more information on finding the right stiffness and why this is so important, check out this video. Next, consider what kind of competitions you're going to be shooting. Primarily indoors at 18 meters or outdoors at longer range where wind becomes more of a factor, and wind efficiency is going to help you shoot higher scores by being less affected by the wind. And of course, we have to talk about budget. We've worked very hard to provide stabilizers at different price points, still packed with great features to match your budget. Now, before we go on, I do want to let you know that we have a stabilizer fitting quiz on our website that is going to give you a personalized recommendation to which one of our stabilizers fits you best. Check that out down below. So in the RamRods product line, you can think of it kind of like a T-shape. At the beginner level, we have the XP, which is a great option for archers who are looking to get their first quality set of stabilizers with great features like internal damping and high-grade carbon that are going to help you level up your game and get started off right. No more rattling, things coming loose, and being frustrated by the sound of your bow. Let's solve those problems and get you focused back on your technique and improving. This is going to work well for archers that are shooting compound or recurve bow, but are using relatively light mass weight. Let's say somewhere in the 1 to 8 ounce range. This is going to work really well for you and help you improve your shooting. Moving up from there, we go to the intermediate level with the K2V2. This stabilizer has an even better grade of carbon, so it's going to be stiffer, which lets us shrink down that diameter and give you more wind efficiency. This is going to start to become really valuable for those of you shooting outdoors. Now, with the K2V2, you can shoot it on a compound or recurve bow, and you're going to be finding good results in probably the 1 to 10 ounce range of weight put on that front stabilizer. And then we get to the top level, the premium stuff, the cool stuff that everybody really wants. We have the Ultra V4, the Vektor, and the Beast. The Ultra V4 is very recurve specific. It is unbelievably wind efficient and has the thinnest tip diameter on the market. It's great for recurve shooters who are trying to compete at a high level and are using between 1 to about 12 ounces of weight on that long stabilizer. If the Ultra V4 sounds awesome, but you're a recurve shooter who runs higher than average mass weight, you might want to check out the Ultra V4S. This version is about 10% stiffer, which is going to allow recurve shooters to run more mass weight while keeping the same wind efficiency and crisp shot reaction. Moving up from there, we have the Vektor, which is kind of this hybrid in-between product. It's going to work well for both compound and recurve, and it's going to be at its best between probably 4 ounces all the way up to about 15 ounces, maybe even 20, depending on your preferences. And then finally, we have the Beast, which is the big dog. It can handle anything you throw at it, but you're probably only going to shoot this on a compound bow. It is going to feel good from about 8 all the way up to 50 ounces, and its sweet spot is really around that 15 to 25 ounce range. So no matter how much weight you're shooting on that long stabilizer, one of those 3 is going to be able to take you to the absolute highest level of the sport and have a great time doing it. If you've got more questions about a specific stabilizer, good news, we have a video for every single one. Just go to our website, click on the product page of the one you're interested in, and watch the video to learn some more. So as you can see, we got to consider a lot of variables when matching you to the right stabilizer. We want to keep in mind appropriate stiffness for the mass weight you'll be using, as wind efficient as possible, especially if you're going to be competing outdoors, as well as something that fits your budget and experience level. If budget's a big concern for you, you're probably going to be looking at a choice between the XP or the K2, and that's really a tiebreaker of, do you want to spend just a little bit more to get a bit more wind efficiency? But whether you're shooting compound or recurve, both of those are solid options. If you're primarily focused on just the highest performing stabilizer for you, you're probably going to end up in the premium tier between the Ultra V4, Vektor, or Beast. Once you're buying something in this price point, it really comes down to how much mass weight you're using on the end of the stabilizer, as well as your bow type. If you're shooting recurve and you don't use a high amount of mass weight, let's say over 10 ounces, then the Ultra V4 is going to fit you best. If you're a recurve or compound shooter using between, let's say, 3 to 15 ounces, then the Vektor is going to be an amazing option for you. And if you are really loading up the mass weight over 15, 20, 30 ounces on the long rod, and you're shooting a compound bow, then the Beast is going to be your solution. Hopefully this video has been helpful. As you can see, there's a lot of factors to consider, but I hope we pointed you in the right direction. If you still want to learn more, we have a lot of great resources on this YouTube channel and on our website that can help you learn more. And if you can't find what you're looking for, drop us a message and we'll make sure to get you set up right.